Hi there! Thanks for joining me for another Assemble This video. Today it's all about this brand new background stamp by Unity Stamp Company. It is perfect for a vintage look with pops of color for the beautiful flowers and butterflies. I'm starting out with a piece of Hammermill 100-pound paper, and I've stamped the wings and petals ledger background with some VersaFine black ink, and I'm going to do some really easy ink blending with just two colors. Starting out with old paper, I'm just going to do a nice layer over the entire panel. What's interesting about distress inks is sometimes it looks really blotchy after you put it on, but if you give it a little bit of time and you just kind of layer up your blending layer after layer, it'll just kind of even out and smooth as it starts to dry. And your paper kind of really makes a difference as well. This Hammermill has a nice coating to it, so the ink kind of slides across the top. Next, we're going to create a vignette around the edge of the paper, and I'm using vintage photo for that. So I really like this combination, just makes it look like an old piece of newspaper or encyclopedia book. Some old looking paper, great for this illustration look with pops of color over the top. So once I was happy with my blending, I grabbed a spray bottle with water and just sprayed on some big droplets, and then I tend to use a baby wipe just because I'm going to clean off my area when I'm done, so I just use that to pick up some of the ink from the cardstock. Next, I grabbed my colored pencils. These are Prismacolor pencils, but you could probably use almost anything. And I grabbed two colors in each tone of family. So I have two yellows, two blues, two reds, and two greens. And I'm just layering up and doing really simple coloring here. I'm not even going to pull out Gamsol or anything. I'm just doing a nice coverage of the stamp with the colored pencils. The flowers are going to be yellow with some orange centers, and then the butterflies are going to be a mix of colors. I thought about just doing all blues, but I really wanted to kind of change up my colors and add in a bit more, so each butterfly is going to be a little bit different. This one I started out with two colors of blue, and again just really doing some simple coloring. I'm not even worried about getting a nice blend between them because the colored pencils have this great waxy feel and they kind of blend on their own. Next, I'm moving on to a teal and orange butterfly. Just really like the combination of the different colors for these butterflies. And then up in the top corner, we're just going to add in a little bit of pink and red just to kind of finish out the rainbow of colors for our butterflies here. I really like this waxy look of the colored pencils over this ledger background. Just kind of creates this really cool vintage feel that I really just like the texture of that combination. Next, I just decided to add a little bit of color to the background itself, highlighting those ledger lines and then a little bit of the words as well. Came back in and made sure I got some green into the photo for the stems of the flowers, and again just kind of putting that into the background by highlighting some of the lines and the words with the green. To help that pop, I do have two colors of green, so just going in with the darker green, just kind of scribbling that on and making sure that I have a little bit of shadow. Just following the lines on the stamps for that. Last, to really kind of make everything pop and to mimic the white splatters that I have in the background, I grabbed my white pencil and just started adding a bit of a highlight or shadow behind each butterfly and the flowers, just to kind of create a bit more dimension and highlight. It just really kind of finishes everything off and makes it a little bit more interesting. Once I was done, I die cut that down and then just popped it up in the center of my card that has a craft card base and then a white scalloped mat. I used the many more birthdays, stamp set, and matching die to create my sentiment. And then to finish everything off, I'm adding just a few sequins. And here is the finished card with that amazing vintage ledger background. And I really love the color and the texture that you get with the coloring from the colored pencils layered on top. It's just a really cool effect that looks like an old encyclopedia illustration. I'll have all the supplies linked in the description of this video on my Dollhouse Designs YouTube channel and blog. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Plus, if you have any questions or a sweet comment, post below. Thanks again for joining me and watching. I hope you enjoyed creating with me, and I'll see you again soon for another video. Bye!